All right, welcome everyone. What an so excited to see the whole entire team here together. So much fun and such great energy. I can just feel it coming through the computer here. Just feel all your love and your energy, and I love seeing all your beautiful faces that I don't get to see all the time. So I'm super excited. I'm like, I hope my line has enough for everybody that hops on. So love you all. So excited that you're here. Let's start off. We had an amazing month. It was so much fun. I'm telling you, this is the best part of this business, is watching everyone rank advance and hit their goals and all of that. It was super exciting. So let's go through some logistic stuff first, and then we'll get and introduce everybody that's going to share tonight. So hopefully you can see my screen. Yes. All right. I don't have, let me just do this. Hold on a second. Come on. So I don't have the Pose Performance Club, but this is our You Got This Club. So between ours and the One Person Big Difference, we had so many qualifications, and I'm so excited. I'm so proud of all of you for all the work you do, because this is the foundation of what you do that leads to everything else. So let's just go over this week what's happening, and then we'll get to all the rank advancements and all the good stuff that's happening. So Tuesday, as you know, we have Flip the Switch. I don't have the, oh, Gabe Pearson is, I see it here. Gabe, I hadn't seen it before. Gabe Pearson is doing Flip the Switch on Tuesday, and that is in the Facebook page, the Life Vantage Facebook page. Wednesday is Wellness Wednesday. Brett, I saw you on here. Can you quickly tell us who it is, so I don't have to go fishing for it?
Yeah, good. Let me find it and I'll give it to you in just a minute. So I can give you the right details.
So you can't remember either.
Sam with one of our people.
I was thinking about what I'm talking about here in a minute. It's not that. So give me a second.
Oh, that's okay. No, you're right. It's Samantha Ray Allen, right? Samantha and Ray Allen from Pro 7, and she's going to talk about being a busy mom, energy, and everything that, you know, a mom of 6 or 7 she has. And so just it's going to be geared towards, you know, busy moms, stay-at-home moms, moms that are taking care of kids, and dads too. So it should be great and exciting. And she'll bring a lot of value to it, the weekly Wednesday wellness. Thursday's opportunity meeting at 6:30 p.m., 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30 Eastern time. Don't have the name of the presenter yet, but we'll get that to you soon. And MVP. Who made the MVP seller in bronze? I can't see you all, but put it in the chat if you made it. I do not have that list, so I cannot shout out your names, unfortunately. I asked for it and I haven't gotten that list yet. But
we got a lot of people that hit MVP, hit the double cash. We're so proud of you guys.
Yes, so put your name in the chat if you hit the MVP seller or the MVP bronze or silver. And yeah, you will get double the incentive this month, 200 instead of 100, and 1,000 if you hit that MVP seller. And then Croatia points. Croatia, do the compliance little thing they sent out, the email. It's important to check your emails. All this stuff comes in your emails, and take the time to read through them, because all these little things are in there. Activate, we were just talking about Activate, and we're excited. It's getting closer and closer. Registration right now is at $199, and I do believe that we still have some tickets for $149. Reach out to your leader, and I believe we can get you that for $149. And Croatia is getting closer and closer. This is the time, if you have not mapped out how you're going to end it, the top 20 so that I have a lot of people around 150 points, and this is the time to get with your leader in your group and map it out, how you get from where you are, the points that will come, and what you need to the end of June. This is a time to look at every month. How many points do you need? What can you do to get those points between customers and distributors? Make sure little things to look at. I think the first one is at 100 points. And if somebody orders 80, try to talk to them into getting, up to the 100. So that way you get that point. So you want to hit that 100, the 250, the 850 to get the 1 point, 2 point, and 5 point. And then the second month order, it's important to keep track of it somewhere on paper, I believe is important. Everyone you enroll last month, have it on paper so you can make sure this month that they hit either, if it's below 100 PV, it's 1 point. If it's 100 to 199 points, it's 2 points. You get 100 to 199 PV is 2 points, and 200 plus PV is 3 points. So you really want to make sure that you don't miss those. And with the 20% off, those points are less. So please make sure you're checking the PV value to make sure you're hitting it, because we don't want you to miss this by just, not paying attention to a couple of the little details. And those are the ones that can kind of slip away that we don't realize and don't check. Big Loop calendar, continue to use that to post your meetings. It's important so we all can see what's happening around. And then the 1% club, get a new distributor, the second month order for that new distributor, and attend an event. We have LVA coming up in April 16th. And so in 2 more weeks is the LVA. And if you attended last month, you'll get that point this month, should show up. So I think that is it for the.
And we've got a daily wellness launching in Canada tomorrow. Very, very exciting.
Yes, yay, Canada. We just heard today. We're excited for you. That launch is going to happen with Stacks, and it will be in the pack. So exciting. I want to go quickly, just our top 20. Kevin, I'll go through these really, really quickly. Kevin POTUS with 24 enrollments. George Caldis, oh God, I should have never started this. Oh, help me, Carrie. 14. Tina Arend with 11 enrollments. Geraldine Webb with 11 enrollments. God, I can't even see this. That's the problem. All right. Anybody counting? Make sure I hit the 20. Amy Leverant with 10. Chad Hansen with 10. Rachel Neely with 9. Allison Hilton with 9. Me with 8. Woohoo! Dr. John Genelak with 8. Dr. Brett Brimhall with 8. Dr. Jess Bueller with 8. There's a theme there. Did you see 3 chiropractors in a row? Should we be talking to these chiropractors? I think so. And we're going to have one tell us how to talk to them in a second. Danielle Stetzel with 8, Jen Gurley with 8, Natural Balance, which I think is Kimberly Lynch with 8, Amy, oh my God, Dipole with 7, Dr. Frank Hatch, another chiropractor with 7, Dr. Issa Diamond with 7, Stephanie Corder with 7, Tamara with 7, Becky with 7. We're going to end here. Carrie with 7, Mia and Don with 6. So, and because I mentioned Mia and Don with 6, we had 3 new Pro 5s this month. So, woohoo, exciting. And I know some of the other ones are on here, but I have asked Mia and Don to share their journey, because their journey wasn't, I hit it in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It's been a long journey. Mia is an opera singer, and Dawn is a music teacher, and they're very talented. We have amazing talent in this group, and I love seeing this. So congratulations, everybody. Little hearts or love if you have. Where's my heart? Where's my heart? Wait, it's here. Oh, lots of love. Congratulations to everyone that ranked advanced. I do have them here, but it might take me forever, and we want to get some other to a bunch of stuff. But Dawn and Mia, can you unmute yourself and share with us your journey, because a lot of people don't know how long this journey has been to get to Pro 5, but whatever, you share that with them, and anything else you want to share.
Well, I joined LifeVantage more recently, and my blessed wife was sitting there in what we sometimes called Pro 4 purgatory for 5 years. And so it's a really, really big moment. I'm going to let her talk first.
Well, yes, so much of the time, when you feel like you're in that place everybody goes through their ups and downs, but it felt stuck there for a long time. And then, in November, our volume actually was just slightly over 16,000. But so much of this is about our mindset and what we're giving our consent to, because when it was over 16,000, we weren't thinking, okay, well, we need to bring on this distributor and this distributor to get to 20. It still felt far away from us, even though it was a good number. And so the interesting thing is my word for 2022 was decide. And when again, it was over 16,000, just the last few days of the month, and they kicked the flash sale in, we really went for it. And my sister, Marisa Maggio Harrelson, just said, you guys can do Pro 5 this month. You can do it. And so it was just a total okay, we're going to go for this. I'm sick and tired of being in this place. And we were looking at the numbers consistently and seeing that, okay, 16,000, we've got just a few days to get to that 20 mark. And, Don and I were both looking at it the night before. I mean, Don, you can share this too. He wasn't sleeping. He may have drank too much lemonade Axio close to bedtime, but in addition to that, he wasn't sleeping. And I remember getting up and just both of us seeing that the numbers was 18.6 the morning of the 31st. And so we knew we had to get to that 20 mark. And, it was interesting. I finally I prayed, I meditated. I just said, this is done. This is happening. I don't know how it's happening. We're just taking the action. I know that this is happening. And I just had such a sense of peace about that day. And about 6 o'clock that night, my sister's like, you got to get on this call. You got to answer. And I answered, and Don was teaching, and they wanted him to. So I ran down and got him. I said, can you just excuse yourself from your student for a few minutes? And he came up, and Sean and Maria and Sean and Michelle and Marisa and Carrie, and they all just said, congratulations, you hit Pro 5. And to us, our numbers still said 19.5. So we didn't even know we got it. And they told us we got it. Sean said, nope, I can see the numbers in my back office. So it was just so amazing to finally turn that corner. And Don, talk about how different it feels.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly say, I don't remember the details of what Carrie Dickey said about, I think it was in another network marketing business where she had to make like 20,000 volume in 24 hours. And amazingly, it happened. And when I heard that, I was like, how? Well, this wasn't that, but I will say from midnight on March 31st to the evening of March 31st, our volume went up by 3,000. And when you think about an average day in LifeVantage, you're hoping you might get a platinum pack, maybe. That's the old days, the elite pack, maybe, but to think of getting 3,000 volume, and the thing is, we didn't think about that. That's the thing. You focus on again, as Mia said, the mindset and giving your consent to the possibility. Mia was better that day at being calm and more prayerful. I was a little bit like, come on now, I confess. But how it really feels, and any of you who have rank advanced know, maybe especially when you get into the higher ranks, how, we feel like it's a new birth in LifeVantage for us. Now, it really feels like that. You feel like you start to take on more of a leadership role. You also start to feel like, in case we didn't know already, this is very, very real. Okay, now it's 5. I can see 6. I can even see elite coming. And I wasn't ready for that difference that I'd feel like right away as soon as that happened. So it's just, we're just around here on cloud 5, but we're heading for cloud 9. Okay. So it's just such a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And it's, you talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. There's no Kool-Aid better than than rank advancing like this. So we're just so grateful to everybody who's helped us along the way, our leaders, our downline, and everybody who's helped make it happen.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so beautiful. And I remember hitting Pro 5, and that's when I was like, this is someone just asked me the other day, what was your moment? I said, one of my big moments was when I hit Pro 5, because it was like, this is real. This is happening. Like someone signed up and I didn't have to do that 3-way call finally. Someone, and it was just like, wow, this really is starting to happen. We've got leaders, the team is doing it. So, and you guys, like you said, Mia, your business can only be as big as you grow personally, right? As you grow as a leader, and that's what's happening, so I'm so excited for you guys. Congratulations.
Oh, thank
We
you.
have
so
two
much.
other Pro 5s. We have 2 other Pro 5s this month. I don't see the laggies on here. Shauna, are you on here? I don't see them. But we do have Kevin Potus. I saw you on here. Kevin, can you unmute and say hello to us real quick? So Kevin hit it in 2 months. So this journey is different for everyone, and it's your journey, right? It is your journey. Kevin, can you talk?
Hi, Maria. This is hope you're well. Sorry, I hope you don't have a bunch of background noise, but we're actually in the airport trying to get home.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Appreciate the compliments and recognition.
Yeah, so tell us, how did you do it in 2 months?
I think a little bit of it, a lot of it, quite frankly, is the launch guide. You think about the people that you want to do business with. You think about the people that are going to be interested in the product. And I think I'm just really fortunate to surround myself with really good people who are motivated to do good and to do well. And I think that's our biggest blessing is we're trying to always find like-minded people and walk with them at the pace that they want to go. And we have people that want to run, and we have people that are trying to understand and learn this business. But at the heart of it all, they all want to help people. And so at the end of the day, when we are helping people achieve and go along beside them in their health journey, all of the things will fall into place. And that's what we feel real fortunate about. And that's, just critical to the path that we're on. And trust me, we're not stopping. So we really look forward to it. And thanks so much for having us on.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin, for hopping on. I know you guys, I think, are at the airport. They're coming back from Nevis. So they've had his wife on a trip with her business, and so they were on that trip. And now they're working their way towards Croatia. So super exciting. Well, congratulations to all the Pro 5s. And so next is Pro 6, Dr. John Jeliak, that's on here. And John's journey has been longer also. So John, you want to share your journey with us?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Maria. So I'll take everybody back maybe 10 years, because when I first signed up as a distributor in LifeVantage, it was 2012. And I'll try to keep this short in the 10-year span I have to talk about. But I started that product basically going to a meeting with Michelle Poe, coming to my town. I sat in the back row, put a cap on so nobody could see me and to hide my hair. And I watched what everybody else watched. At that time, it was just NRF2 and one lotion. I saw the video and I said, I should take this, right? Because there was some good science behind it. And I should preface that saying a patient of mine came into my office and said, you got to go to this meeting on Saturday. And I'm in a small town, so I was trying to make my patient happy and just go to this meeting because I didn't want to lose her as a patient either. So anyway, I went to this meeting. She bugged me for several weeks after that to sign up. And I thought, what the heck, I'll sign up. I signed up on a platinum pack. At that point, I believe we had 10 NRF2s. And I thought, if anything, I have product to take. Fast forward 4 more years to 2016, that's when I finally started the business. So guys, I didn't even see the business at that point. I was opening another practice. I remember Michelle Poe calling me on the phone at my other practice, and she said, do you want to learn more about the business? And I told her no. I've since learned never to say no to Michelle Poe. So anyway, I went to Fargo. I'm from North Dakota. I went to Fargo. I saw a doctor's meeting. I saw a couple chiropractors, some medical doctors, and a cardiologist talk about the studies and everything behind Nerve 2. And so I really got to see the background on it. And I ended up going to my first event in Anaheim, California. I didn't know my upline. We couldn't do the Zooms back then. You know, we didn't have the video chat stuff. I met my upline at a baggage claim in Anaheim, going to my first event. I'm an introvert, so I typically wouldn't do this without my wife there by me, and I went by myself. Went to this event, saw Eric Worre train us, Bob Proctor, all these guys, and I just thought there's something here. There was energy, and that really kicked off the business for me. I learned so much in that weekend of training, so don't ever miss events. They are so important. I've only missed one event since I started the business, and that's because there was a blizzard and we couldn't leave North Dakota. So they're super important. And after that, I kind of took a speedboat to Pro 5, maybe not from maybe the couple in Sioux Falls. They're moving quite quickly in 2 months. Took me a little longer to hit 5. Made a few trips, got to meet amazing people in our upline. And then I kind of took the rowboat. So I did the little roller coaster through the business. I got stuck. It took a long time. 5 years later, from 2017 to now, I finally hit Pro 6. And I think the one thing I've learned is be consistent. Don't stop doing what you're doing, no matter if it's slow, no matter if you get a customer or not, just keep going, because consistency with the right actions will eventually create momentum and will build your team. Because 10 years from now, you can either sit there and say, boy, I wish I would have done this or this, but you're going to be there regardless, right? So just keep doing something. I'm very thankful for my crossline friends on here, my upline. You guys have all been great support. Tanya Sheldon told me in Cabo, you need to decide and do this. That was a big motivator for me. So thanks, Tanya. Michelle Poe, the whole key word is decide. Decide if you want to do it. Jump in with both feet, put your head down and go. Who cares what anybody else says? Get the fear out of your head. Like Maria told me once, get into your heart, not in your head, right? So, you have to share this with as many people as you can, but I'm very grateful for my team. I couldn't have done it without them. Dr. Brett told me that morning, he goes, oh yeah, you're going to hit this. I was about less than 4,000 away that morning, and I was working with him on the computer, doing some things. Talked to Leslie Paul later that day, and she told me some things I can't say without getting bleeped, but she just said, you're going to do this. I finally got my last elite pack at about 10:30 at night, and that's what did it. So I was super excited. It's been a long journey, but guys, don't give up. It is what it is. It's like Maria said, it's your own story. This is mine, but I'm very grateful I'm still here and plugging away.
Oh, thank you, John. I remember meeting you in Anaheim on that patio, right?
Right.
You must have thought we were all crazy, because usually after a conference on a patio, eating and drinking, we tend to get a little crazy with dancing and all kinds of stuff. And you were very quiet and shy, but you're definitely becoming an extrovert, and we love you. So answer one question. What's the best approach for me to talk to my chiropractor?
This is a good question, because, we think we know everything, right? I was the same way when my patient came to me. I thought, well, what is this? I didn't learn about it in school. I know nothing about it. And I kind of shrugged it off, because we get hit with a lot of different companies and a lot of people coming to us and saying, hey, you got to take a look at this. Hey, you got to take a look at this. The one thing, and I have a few chiropractors underneath me. One is my brother-in-law, and I can't even get him to an event. So we can be tough. But I think the best thing that you can do is get in front of them, get them the information to see it. Once they see it, they won't put it down. That is the hardest part. So I think you need to come, have a third party, obviously. I'll hand out Dr. Brett's phone number out to everybody. So no, I'm just kidding. I won't do that. I just got to give him grief. But, get a third party. You can definitely reach out to me. I'm happy to help anybody. But you got to get the information to them. You got to get in front of them and show them, because it's a tough sell. It really is. Anybody in the healthcare field, is really hard. But I think if you can get them the information, get them to actually look at it, that's key with me and getting a few of my healthcare professionals in my group.
Oh, thank you for that. That is awesome. Yeah. So there are tough ones. We're looking for the not so tough ones to go talk to. So, all righty, I'm going to turn this over to Carrie Williams now.
Hey guys, welcome everyone. So excited to see all your faces, and congrats to all of our rank advancements, and just for everyone with so much exciting stuff going on last month, I can't even tell you. So we're so proud of all of you guys. So proud of you, John. And yes, getting your chiropractor to look at it is not always easy, right? Like Maria said, we got a lot of chiropractors. So tonight I have the pleasure of introducing you to Dr. Brett Brimhall. He was our chiropractor. For those that don't know, Dr. B. My son, we met Dr. B when Luke was 8 years ago, and he worked with him every week for a year. And trust me, I tried to talk to him a whole lot of times, tried to share a whole lot of stuff. He ignored me for quite some time, but the science caught his attention. And within just a few years, he ended up being able to sell his practice, and now he practices 2 days a week because he loves to treat and help people, and can help, and then work in his LifeVantage business, and he's an Elite Pro 7. So Dr. Brett has taught and trained physicians all over on how to use different supplements and nutrition through their practice, and the 6 steps to wellness. He's been in practice for well over 20 years. People come from all over to see him. For those that can't find answers or get help, they end up on his door, and he helps them. And so tonight I am so excited because for those of you, if you haven't heard, we just had a brand new human clinical study on NAD come out. And there was a webinar that Dr. Brian Dixon did regarding that. But what I'm so excited about is Dr. Brimhall is going to give us the layman's explanation, like what does this study mean? Keep it simple, so we can go out there and share this, and what this means in a real way. So fill us in on that study and what all that means and why you're so excited about it. Thank you, Dr. Brimhall, for taking time out of your schedule to jump on this Zoom for everyone.
Hey, thanks a lot, Carrie, for inviting me. And you can't talk to your chiropractor. You just have to talk to them a lot before they finally hear you. And that's usually something that changes in their life to get them to see it. Carrie, thanks for being persistent, which I think Michelle has duplicated what you are. You don't say no to them. So I like that, John. But literally, Carrie, you've changed my life and many others. So thank you. Guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about this study. And so if you want the PhD version of the study, you can go watch Dr. Dixon's, and please do that from a belief perspective. I don't have a PhD behind my name. I like simple things. It's like what I can use with this, because the bottom line is this: if you know what you know and you understand that, and you help people believe, they can feel that, then that's really what matters. They can go get the validation from the science if they want, okay? But the bottom line, none of this stuff works at all unless it goes into our bodies. Like every single day, all day long, the world is hammering on you, and it's both in how your body deals with the toxicity and everything else. So the only way your body can handle it by having something different. So when you go and listen to Dr. Dixon, just know like the science is real. And just to give you a little perspective. So my dad has created 200 different natural products with 4 different companies. So 200. So think of 200 different products. 0 of those products have any studies, clinical studies on humans or animals. 0. Right? And I've used them for 30 plus years when teaching and training physicians and gotten results. So even though I have belief in those, I don't have the validation that we now have. Obviously with Proton Nerve 2, there's tons of validation. But now with the NAD. All right. So if you want, I'm just giving a little back. So when you look at this study, we'll hit the topic of it just a little bit, but just go to PubMed.gov and type in NAD and aging, right? Or NAD and anything else that you can think of. And you're seeing a ton of studies looking at NAD as associated with all sorts of human conditions that we're dealing with today. Like I typed in that just for kicks and giggles tonight. And guys, it shows up talking about neurodegenerative diseases and metabolic syndrome, which is like, high blood pressure and diabetes. Like this is stuff we deal with every single day. So now if this is the problem and NAD is a solution, what are our options out there? You can go look at NAD and type it in. You're gonna see all sorts of things you can take. And guess what? Almost none of them will have any studies published on the actual product. That does not happen. For us to have so many with Nerf2 is unbelievable. It just does not happen. So to have one human clinical study showing the effectiveness of not the ingredients, but the actual product of NAD is giant, right? So when you talk to anybody else that's taking about any NAD supplement, like they're just not studies out there on supplement specific for a human study, okay? So just understand that piece of it, please, okay? So I'm gonna just summarize the study a little bit and just talk about the top points for each of you. Number one, understand that it's real. Like LifeVantage is studying and formulating things very differently than anybody else that I know out there. All right, so this being that Dr. McCord found out about Nerf2 in his laboratory, was able to test it inside the cells and then take it to humans is giant validation. That is not how products are made. LifeVantage makes them that way. Like that's literally how they make them. But they're looking at not only, hey, can we make a product, but can we tie it to nutrigenomics, which how and which genes express themselves, right? So every single product that we make, that's the vision, that's the pair of glasses we are looking for in creating a product, not better than, but different than. Like, so please know that, like that's painstaking, and then everybody I know on the SIB, like they think that way, and so that's what's happening. That's why when NAD came out, like, and we didn't have a study on like this then, but you look at the effect that it had on the gene study with Nerf2, Nerf1, and NAD, and the results that were different when you combine those three. So don't forget that. But when I saw this study, like, and remember on the slide in the back office where it talks about it helps maintain healthy cholesterol levels, like remember that? That's a big deal. They think 1 in 3 people should be on statins. That's literally what they say. 1 in 3 people should be on a statin because of cholesterol levels. Guys, so when you look at this study, it's one that you're going to ask the question, does the product do what we say it does? So we say that the product NAD, protamine NAD increases NAD levels, increases certain activity. That's what the study showed. It shows that it does just that. But it also showed that it improves or normalizes, it helps to normalize healthy cholesterol levels. So when you look at the study, one of the outcomes is, and this is with males and females, like it literally improved the cholesterol ratios, which if you talk to most people, that's not the case. Still the #1 killer in the United States is heart disease. All right. So when you looked at what this study showed, it showed across the board that it kept HDLs with the good cholesterol levels optimal, and it lowered the LDLs. What that did, it means it improved the health of your vascular system. That's a bullet point. So anybody that's out there taking a statin or want to improve their cholesterol levels, like this study literally showed that's the effect that it had. It helped it optimize the cholesterol. So that's in the back office, our talking points, that healthy, maintain a normal cholesterol. We now have a human clinical study showing that our product did that. Right. So I always hear people say, well, there's not very many studies. I want you to look at most of the products people take, and there's 0 studies on them. Animal or human. And that's just the reality. All right, because it's so expensive. So for us to have 1 or 20 plus with Nerf2 is giant validation. So you can have confidence in that because that's what we're doing. And that's literally what it shows. So number 1, it shows that it improves that, and it shows that it increases sirtuin levels and NAD, which across the board is giant, right? So what we're seeing actually does, not only in the culture of the cells, but in humans. All right, and then look at the other study we have where it combined all 3 of them in the gene activation. When you activate a gene in a healthy, proper way, you're activating the rest of the system. That's what Dr. Dixon said. He talked about, saying, are we making more from ingredients, or is your body activating and turning on the switch to make it? The bottom line is it's activating the body to make it. And isn't that our story? We're literally activate the body to do what it's designed to do. And that's the same with Nerf1, it's the same with Nerf2, it's the same with NAD. And that's the whole philosophy of what we do at LifeVantage. Okay, the other thing I thought was an interesting talking point is they want to know if it was safe. All right. And I've heard people say, I myself have said this, that if somebody has high blood pressure, like, should we give this to them, right? Because that possibility that receptor for the wasabi extract, white, could increase that because it's shared the same receptor. Guess what? From this study, like, that's what they found. It literally does not activate the same way. So it didn't change the blood pressure on any of these individuals at all in a negative fashion. Okay. And here's the crazy thing. It would have been really easy if we took older people, non-healthy people, to show positive results. So they took a, not an older population, a middle-aged population of healthy individuals, and then saw improvement, right? Saw improvement and no increase in blood pressure, right? So for me, like, what I loved about this is, like, I had that gives you that much more confidence when somebody comes in and maybe they have some early stages of stuff going on with the cardiovascular system. Like, this is absolutely, I should do it, right? Because it's not activating that same receptor. How cool is that, right? So from a safety perspective, is it safe to do? Absolutely, right? Is it effective? Yes, it does what we say it's going to do. And what's it going to do for them? Well, and the people say, well, what am I going to feel? Right? All the time. What am I going to feel? Well, most people that have a heart attack, you know what they feel? Their first indication of what they feel, unfortunately, they pass away. Right? And we're not doing this to prevent anything, but what else can we do? Right? Whether it's heart disease, so number one, like, we're all taking things or doing things for our health that sometimes don't have any studies on it, right? But what else can you do that has this type of response and this type of studies and done this type of painstaking, like, research to find out what it does? I don't know. All right. So it's safe, it's effective, and when you combine it with the other things that we're doing, we can see exponential results. Right, so I'd encourage you to go through, read through this study, like, just for fun and kicks and giggles, and it's great for insomnia, right? Put you right to sleep sometimes. And if you really like the other, like, the heavier science that Dr. Dixon talks about, it's really kind of cool, right? If you like that stuff. But bottom line, here's your key takeaways. We said that Protandim NAD improves sirtuin and improves NAD. Like, that's what we claimed. That's what we said. We also said that it helped to maintain normal cholesterol levels. The study shows all three of those things. Right? In humans, in a healthy population, middle age, that's powerful. So it does what we said it does. All right. And then number two, it's safe. Literally doesn't have a caffeine effect like we thought it might. So those two were big for me because, like, I had confidence in before because of what I saw. But as I went back and I was reading his research and looking at what he said, and then reading the paper, and then, like, doing more diving into NAD, we're not talking about this as enough. Like, I myself am not talking about it as much as I should be, right? Because I have tons of confidence in Nerve 2 because of what I've seen. I have tons of confidence in Axial because of what I've seen it do, right? But I wasn't promoting NAD like I should have been, right? So this study should just help give me that much more validation, that much more important to do, and it's that safe to do. Okay. Any particular questions, Carrie? Those are the high points that I wanted to hit.
And just to clarify, because I know people had questions, the study was done on our NAD, our finished product, and they just didn't use Protandim NAD in that wording because of claims and things like that, right?
Yeah. So when you're talking about a study, guys, they rarely going to give a name, use the name, right? So they gave it a different name. So NAD3, I think, was the name in the study they called it. All right. So yes, that is actually so it's actually our product in the study, correct? They just called it NAD.
Yeah, it was done at Auburn University.
Yeah, Auburn, and there were a couple other places too, but Auburn, and then there are a couple other facilities did it as well. So the cool thing, guys, this is just one study. And one thing Dr. Dixon did hit on, which I was kind of interesting, is that at the end of the discussion, he says, like, the way they worded this is they're wanting to do more studies, right? So that's powerful, but don't wait for another study to get this into somebody you love and care about. Because right now, like, literally, I can't tell me how many people I talk to, they're doing IV NADs, right? Or they're taking an NMR. Like, they're taking things to try to or they're taking NAC, like, they're trying to take the ingredients to get the body to make more. But what we're seeing And it's what we've all seen from the Protandim Nerve 2 is activation, it trumps supplementation as far as the effectiveness of your body being able to turn on the switches to make it. You still need to do the right supplementation. That's where you look at all the things we're taking in Life Advantage. Guys, it's critical that you take the right supplements. It's absolutely critical. But it's absolutely critical that you take the right activation to turn on the switches to maximize the results. Anything else? I mean, hide on or questions that people are having?
Somebody asked if it was in PubMed, but I don't think it's peer-reviewed yet.
Not yet. I didn't see it there. I checked there too. And so maybe, I don't know if this is submitted, like literally I just was released like March 21st. I think it's literally like a couple weeks old. So at this point, I didn't sign on PubMed. It is available. You can find it out there, and it's peer-reviewed. It's just not on PubMed. Not that I know of yet. No, I've actually reached out to Dr. Dixon, whether that's taking place to get there yet, I don't know.
Yep. Another question was, if someone asks, why is ours different? What's the best thing to say, or the 3 points you mentioned?
So, the 3 points I mentioned are key, but what I would ask this question, well, what makes yours the one you want to take? Why are you looking at taking that one? Like if somebody's looking, well, comparing something, so tell me what it is you're looking to take and why. And not because you need to know about that, but you want to look, you're listening for, are they, why? And is it like, are they just supplementing, or is it an activation type thing? So guys, I was super familiar with Nerve 2 activation because I literally studied under Dr. Perlmutter like that, and I knew about Nerve 2 activation. I knew what it was. I used the product that he made, right? I had read some of the studies, but it didn't work clinically in people very well. I just didn't get results with it. I didn't know why. I said, the science is super cool. He says this stuff works. It wasn't until I saw what I saw in Carrie's son that I started using Protandim Nerve 2, and literally activation trumps it, right? So yes, there are different things that will activate, absolutely, but they don't activate it the same. So when you look at that study in Nerve 2, those 5 ingredients, right, 18-fold increase in change. Well, that's when you look at the way, so Life Advantage has that mindset when they're formulating. That vision and of making stuff that way, it changes the game, because literally, like, most people aren't even thinking that. They're not thinking combination of ingredients and how they work together and how much actually get. That is not a common thought process in the supplement industry.
And they're testing it as they're making it.
And then they're testing it. Like I literally remember sitting with somebody, one of our past CEOs, asked that question, like, how do you make these? And all of a sudden it started clicking. Oh yeah, they're testing this, why they're doing it. That's why we're getting the results. That's why it's super important that they're doing the testing in the cultures first and then looking at that. So that's why you can have confidence when they bring it out. They've already done, like, a lot of times years of research, right, to find those things to activate.
And you don't find that type of testing most places.
No, just from perspective, guys. So when my dad and I formulated, and my dad formulated a ton of products, and I've been part of that process for years. We literally we'd find a subset of people that weren't getting better, right, and didn't know why. And we'd use like 3 or 4 products from different companies, and found, hey, this combination works for some reason. And then we start studying what it is, looking at labs, doing muscle testing, doctor microscopy, all the different things. And then we would start combining things and then retest, combine and retest. Because we couldn't put it inside a cell. It's not like we could bathe the cell in this substance and watch the genetic response. So again, going back to that slide with the Nerve 1, Nerve 2, and NAD, and you watch the jump, we couldn't do that. Like, so that's when it also hit me in the head. Oh my gosh, that's why, like, we know that this works in all populations of people, and if they're human, right? Because they're tested on those types of cells, right? To now have these other studies that we're doing that showing a positive response in human clinical trials is awesome. But guys, like, throw in the chat here if you've had responses and results yourself, whether from lab work or whether from physiologically how you felt, like, of taking the products. Have you or have you not? Right? Like, throw in the chat, like, yeah, thumbs up. Like, it's a ton of us that have that. So we have that validation. It's just nice to have the science back us up, right? And the Life Advantage is kind of in that space all the time. We're trying to look at, hey, does it do what we think it's going to do? And is it safe? And I think the answer is a resounding yes.
yeah, I love that they did that whole huge safety.
Yeah,
piece.
and the thing, I mean, that's when we want to know, like, I didn't know, I was cautious sometimes, high blood pressure, like, should we, should not, right? But to show that that had that type of thing, like, that's beautiful. Like, I'm so happy to have that.
But again, that it's activating.
Yeah,
So
it's
what about
activating that
those pulse
cycle, which is so different. So,
Perfect. Well,
Dr.
thank you.
Jess wants to say something. Dr. Jess, we have, if any of the doctors on here or dietitians or nutritionists want to say something, you know, we'll hear you because you're all are so brilliant. Jess, Dr. Jess?
Brett kind of reemphasized afterwards the same things, but there's really only one big competitor for us with our NAD product, and they do have a human clinical study as well, but it's not the same mechanism. It's not a cellular activation. It's a precursor, maybe metabolite. It's totally different. So you're still going back to explaining the difference between activation, supplementation, and then also showing, you know, the leverage and the power of our products stacked against each other. And like I said, Brett kind of covered that again anyway. But I think that's the thing. Like, this human clinical study is amazing. And there's probably like a little fine line of like, do we have the first one on an actual NAD? Well, we probably have the first one on an NAD activator, but yeah, it's a precursor that they're using. It's metabolites, but they're still getting something with theirs. So now we've got something that shows our activator, which uses a totally different process that has a study that gets exponential results, especially paired with our other products. So I think it's not being defensive, but also asking those questions, which Dr. B was not getting defensive, but he's trying to basically give you those points so that you have those in your mind, but asking the questions and connecting with your third party. Because if somebody fires a question at you and then you're just trying to fire back, you sound like you're selling. Just be like, honest, I'm not sure, let's find out, and connect them with someone that can answer. Because when you do it in a third party way, you're not selling, you're going to find the answers for them, but you're going to get that validation from someone that can explain the science. Like, nobody expects you to have a PhD. So that's
and thanks for saying that, Jessica. That's great. And that's the perfect time for third party validation. That's a great question. Let's get, let's get Michelle on the phone, or Dr. John. I think we have his number in the chat, right? Is that what I just heard?
Yeah, I think everybody has John's number now. I think actually I heard.
All right, let me see other questions here. I know we're going a little bit over, but I think this is important. Can you repeat why they didn't use the name of the product? Simply, they used NAD3 because without saying the name of the product, they can say a lot more about it and the benefits of it. And one thing I want you to remember, people don't care. They don't care if there's wasabi in it, if there's ginger in it, if there's pepper. People want to know, what are the benefits? I think we've been doing this backwards. People want to know, what's it going to do for them? How can it help them? That's what you got to talk to people about. What are the benefits of the benefits? What are the benefits of this, right? And there's two things that people worry. Anyone that has anything going on in their body, there's two things that people are looking for. It's, I've got no energy, so they want more energy, and they have pain, aches and pains. Those are the two, to me, top things that people are feeling, and that they want to see that change in their body, right? So you ask people, what is it that you want to change? What is it that you want to feel and improve, right? And which of our products can do that? Which of them can activate? And how I explain activation to people, I say, does anybody have a flip phone, right? A flip phone, you can make a call with it, right? But a flip phone, compare it to a smartphone. They both make calls, right? But you can't do an ounce of the stuff you can do with the smartphone, with the flip phone. That's activation. That is, to me, the easiest way to show people what's the difference. Is activation, is that smartphone. It's activating the pathways in your body, flipping on switches where your body's doing the healing. It's not our product that's doing the healing. It's inside our body. All right, so I think I answered that one. The Tanya's was answered. Oh, yes.
Right.
And ours increases in 24
Don't-
hours. It can increase 100% the NAD. Right, the sirtuins.
So guys, real quick on supplements versus activation, you can have all the groceries on the counter, but if not put together in the right ratio and not baked at the right temperature, that's activation. So when you have the right ingredients, those are what they called it. It's good to have ingredients like that. You need certain things to build things, but activation. So if you take a supplement and you need, let's say, vitamin C to make something, you have to have vitamin C. Activation is a switch that turned on to say, hey, we need to make all that vitamin C into something. So literally your oven is an activator. Okay, that's literally what it is. Like its job is that once you heat it up, it activates what's already in it. And exercise is an activator. Like when you exercise, it takes what your muscles are and makes them what they can be. So when somebody asks about precursors, like ours are activators. If you want to write Dr. Dixon's presentation of the thing, he'll talk about that too.
So go back now and watch that webinar, like Dr. B said, for your belief. And after hearing like a simpler, easier to understand explanation, then you'll get more of those details, and some of it might mean more. But again, have that for the resource for those that really need that information. That is not most people. So just go out there with belief, and I'm sure we will have more Zooms down the road on this as well. This is just brand new information. We wanted to get it out to everyone as quick as possible. So thank you, Dr. Brimhall, for digging into it and translating it for us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, thank you, everyone. Congratulations, everyone that ranked advanced, that hit the performance clubs, all of it. Love you so much. Congratulations, everyone.
Great job.